is a maize out at the Big House. You should already know this, especially if you're going to the game. If you are, high noon, Michigan, Texas, right? Michigan is going to have eyes on it, which it hasn't had, and I don't even know how long as far as this is a top 5, right? Number 3 in the country, SEC team, right? Texas is no longer in the Big 12, no longer, I won't say minor league football. Would that be fair? Probably not. But they're in the SEC, and I think the entire country, right, who just wants to, just seething to see Michigan lose, is just going to be tuning in to see if Michigan can lose. So make sure, well, they're not going to, of course, but make sure that the Big House shows out. Just complete maize pandemonium. Now, Jack, I got an inside scoop today. You guys might not believe me. You might. It's fine. But I was told that there is going to be a group of frat guys. They figured out a way to sneak in those Super Soaker water guns. They're going to be hunting out Michigan fans not wearing maize. They're going to soak you pregame with a Super Soaker as punishment for not adding into the maize out. That's trending on Twitter right now. Not sure if it's accurate, but that's what's being said out there by some people that I think would know. Guys, I'm also on Twitter. I was tweeting out a ton this weekend, putting out all the highlights, in-game analysis. I won't be able to because of the Wi-Fi, because of the stadium this week, but I'll give analysis right up to game time, maybe do some pregame videos from the stadium if there's a signal, and then we will have our postgame show and on my comments as we're driving home out of the game on Saturday. All season long, at James Yoder on Twitter. Now, if you comment JH, right, you're January 8th, or the day Michigan won the national championship this year. If you comment JA on a tweet of mine and I don't follow you, I will follow you back. Now, we went inside Michigan football, talked to a few sources over the last 24 hours to get a vibe on what this team is planning and what you can expect and really how they're feeling going up against number 3 Texas. Michigan is confident in their defensive game plan, right? You think back to 2021 Ohio State, 2022 Ohio State, but it was a little bit different of a game plan because they felt more comfortable on offense. Michigan did, at least. And really, look back to this Washington, the national championship game, Michigan-Washington, just almost 8 months ago, Jack. 4 days from now, it'll be 8 months. The day after the Michigan-Texas game. 8 months, January 8th. This is too coincidental. Michigan's going to beat Texas, and the next day it's going to be the 8-month anniversary, right? One thing I've gleaned is that this offensive coaching staff is getting more reps this week in having Kalel Mullings and Donovan Edwards on the field more often, right? So it ideally opens things up, right? They got to worry about is Mullings going to go up the middle, right? So we can't necessarily cram the line if Edwards might go outside. You might even see Kalel Mullings go inside, become a lead blocker for Donovan Edwards. You might see Mullings go out wide or, some variation of that, but was told they were practicing that this week, and the key focus is to put the Don in position to succeed, right? It's very clear at this point. Just think about some of these runs this past week. Go back to the Alabama game, right? That jump cut on the scoring touchdown in overtime from Blake Corum, right? Hit the hole, basically jumped like 9 feet to his left, went all, cut back to the end zone. That's what scored Michigan, right? You never know. This entire season could have had a different ending had Blake Corum not make that jump cut. I don't know if I've ever seen that from Donovan Edwards, right? Even against Washington when he had the 2 where he kind of got stopped and then popped out. It was just running to the outside. It's not that big, giant jump to the outside. So Michigan really needs to and is going to try to get him the ball more in space. We can either beat the guy to the outside on maybe a pitch where Kalel Mullings maybe takes a fake handoff. They pitch it to the down to the outside, right, outside left, or little swing passes or passes even potentially, hopefully at least, downfield. Look, people are really taking the shots at Donovan Edwards this week. They, 11 carries, 27 yards. Oh, this is your cover boy. And, putting up his stats from last year when he admittedly, until really the Washington game, didn't have as big of a year as many, including him, expected. But remember, they call him Big Don, Big Game Don for a reason. You think back the Big Ten championship game. You think back was a freshman. You think back to the Penn State game, the Ohio State game in 2022, the Big Ten championship game, even for parts of the national championship game, although Michigan got away from the running game, and then national title game this year. Michigan really needs to get Donovan Edwards the ball downfield. I think that'll then open up more running lanes for him if he's more of a threat, right? I think back to as a true freshman when, although Sherrone wasn't the primary offensive play caller, he was like a co-offensive coordinator that year, at least in title, with Josh Gass. And this was really a breakout game we'd been waiting for all season from Edwards. And we really haven't seen it since, right? 10 catches, I think it was 170 yards, a 70-plus yard touchdown catch that you see featured here on the screen, and it hasn't come to fruition from a passing game. I mean, hell, even when you think about that, just a couple games after that in 2021, the 75-yard bomb, it was really like 40 yards in stride, getting smoked in the face by an Iowa defender from hitting that pass. Probably one of the best passes I've ever seen a non-quarterback throw in a competitive college or NFL football game. But we really haven't seen it, right? As far as I remember, Edwards has only thrown 2 passes since then. It was against Ohio State, which was a great pass downfield to Colson Loveland, and then which was a bad pass, which is kind of against his body throwing like this, which I don't recommend for Michigan to do. Back to J.J. McCarthy. Could have been another game changer there. McCarthy had to jump over his head, give him a left-handed catch, and then turn around and fire the ball downfield to Roman Wilson. But getting Donovan Edwards the ball, I don't necessarily think that has to mean 18 carries, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns running. I do think there will be times where you see him get the ball in unconventional ways from what we've seen recently, and maybe harken back to those days of 2021, maybe even some of the 2022 Donovan Edwards pass, catch, receive, throw, everything, make him a true triple threat out of the backfield. All right, here's the matchup, right? 1 weekend, so Michigan 30 points, 30-10 win. Texas 52-0 win. So Texas is tied with a handful of other teams. I didn't even see this, Jack. Ole Miss scored like 76 points last week, so they're number 1 in scoring. And then Texas obviously is going to be tied for first with no points given up on defense. I'm interested to see how Colorado State does this year. It's a hell of a 52-10 win. Michigan tied for 76, putting up 30 points, and then tied for 40th. Nothing really to make of those rankings now. Michigan did fall a spot in the AP poll from 9 to 10. Texas is consistently now for the last 3 days has been a 7.5 point favorite. The over/under in this game has come down 4, 5, 6 points from a couple weeks ago before the season even started. Now it sits at 42.5. Jack and I will give you our score predictions in just a moment. Actually, we're going to do it right now, actually. What I want you guys to do, though, is predict the score of this game. I want to know what you guys are thinking. We've got, just 3 more sleeps. Right? Tonight, we're going to put this video out Wednesday night, filming it Wednesday about 6:15 Eastern or so. Put this video out Wednesday a little later because we put out a video earlier. And then we got Thursday to sleep. Then we got Friday to sleep. I'm going to be sleeping in the state of Michigan on Friday till the big game. 3 days before the game, we're probably just rough math here. We're about 66 hours from kickoff, 65 hours from kickoff. What is your score prediction? Give it to me down in the comments. Let me think about it. I put a lot of thought in this over the past week. I'm going to type it to Jack right now. There it is. Okay, Jack's got it for me. My score prediction this one, I feel that Michigan has a very similar game plan to 2021 Ohio State, 2023 Washington. They hit Quinn Ewers under 2.5 seconds, more than enough times to limit the Texas passing game. Texas has success in between the 20s, but ends up settling for a couple field goals, maybe misses a field goal or 2, scores 1 touchdown, and Michigan finds a score that maybe the average fan wasn't preparing for, whether it's a defensive touchdown, special teams, or big ball, Sherrone Moore calling some crazy play that nobody was expecting. Michigan gets maybe 2 touchdowns here and quite a few field goals. They've got maybe the best field goal kicker in America coming out of nowhere. I have got Michigan win this game 24-13. Jack Lautaret, young Harbaugh, give us your prediction.
So I'm kind of in the same vein as you. I think that the defenses are going to play well. Mm-hmm. But there will be moments of exploitation, both on offense and defense for both teams. I think Michigan will probably get some sort of defensive touchdown at some point. Mm-hmm. I think that Texas will score a few touchdowns on offense because, Quinn Ewers, no doubt, is good, not probably elite, but good. And their offense is good, so I'm not going to take anything away from them. I think the difference here is field goals and kicking. And I'm going to give Michigan a 2-point edge, 26-24.
Now, is that a last-minute field goal, or it was Texas tossing a touchdown with 3 minutes left? Michigan holds on.
I think Michigan's got the ball driving, 2 minutes left in the game, and they kick a late field goal, give them a lead. That's what I'm going to go with.
And then you get an interception, just like against Ohio State last year. Jack, I got one prediction for the people watching here. Keep us on screen here. It's this. This is one of those games like Wheel of Fortune, past and future. Who am I right here? Who am I? Past and future. Past, I am Michael Penix Jr. Future, this Saturday afternoon, I am Quinn Ewers. Don't want him to get injured, right? Just take enough shots to impact his throwing ability and give Michigan this big-time win against Texas coming up on Saturday. I think just like the entire college football world is going to get turned on their head when Michigan wins this game. How about this guy, right? I've seen him on Twitter before. Don't really follow him or anything like that. Don't follow him. But Kalel Mullings got a decent following, and he says he's in the media of some sort. Do Michigan fans exist here, right? Meaning Twitter. Awfully quiet on here for a marquee matchup, which is kind of funny because I've had I'm doing a radio appearance. I've had media members from Texas want me to be on their different shows. Somebody told me, you're like the Michigan fan I see more than anybody over the last few days. You keep showing up my timeline all the time on Twitter. So I guess Kyle is following different people. So that was last night. I quote tweeted him this morning. I said, I just dropped off my son at elementary school in Dallas, Texas. True story. He was rocking a Michigan t-shirt, which we have him do every single day this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then we're going to plane, take my school midday. Not a single kid or parent, Jack, and this is one of these schools where it's an elementary school where you got a lot of parents who live in the neighborhood. So a ton of people walking up. So you see hundreds and hundreds of parents, not a single kid or parent. 2 days left in the school week wearing a Texas uniform. I saw Texas A&M stuff this morning. I saw Baylor. I saw Texas Tech. I saw SMU. I saw TCU. But nothing of anyone supporting the Longhorns. Do they have fans? And then I continued out with this one. I did my research. I used a little bit of combination of ChatGPT and Google Maps. Texas versus Michigan facts. There are 43 Michigan bars that I could find, either alumni or fan bars, in the state of Texas. You got like 5, 6, 7 here in Dallas, right? Dallas, Plano, Frisco, Fort Worth. You got 3 or 4 more. You got Austin. You've got San Antonio. You've got Houston. You've got a handful of other cities that have one. 43 bars that consider themselves some sort of Michigan football bar, alumni or fans, to watch the games, eat, drink, and be merry with your fellow Wolverine fans. Zero, Jack. And on the Texas website, not on Google Maps, not Googling, not ChatGPT, not any way I could look up, 0 Texas bars in the state of Michigan. I even looked at Ohio. I didn't spend that much time. None in Ohio, none in Indiana, none in Pennsylvania. It's kind of a Mickey Mouse brand, right? Is this even a big-time brand? They say they have fans everywhere. They say that's a national brand, kind of a Mickey Mouse brand. I remember when I lived in California, there was like one Longhorns bar in the state of California, in Northern California. There's like 3 Michigan bars in one single city. So that's what I think about Texas. I think they're a little too big for the britches. And the guys that are going there, the fans that are going there, are going to see how big-time college football is played in the state of Michigan. Now, here's my son. I think he's had like about in 18 days of school so far as wearing a Michigan shirt, over half of them, including every single day this week. So here's his uniform there. Here's his outfit there. That was last week. This one was on Tuesday. I took a picture before we went to school. Then this is just this morning, rocking the Don t-shirt. And he had to make it a family affair, right? You had Preston Yoder and his sister, right, went to the park in Dallas wearing the Michigan gear. We might have got a couple Go Blues from around the way. And look, these kids are just rocking the Michigan gear in the state of Texas. And I'm going to give them a big-time reward. Jack, those are some sharp-looking kids in that Michigan gear, and it just makes me so proud to have it on in the heart of Dallas. Now, I'm taking Preston to his 4th game this weekend. You think back, he went to the Florida game in Dallas before he even moved here way back in 2017, a Michigan win. 2019, he was like 2, almost 3. He went to the Michigan Army game, which was a nail-biter. Went to overtime, which was insane to me. That was the speed and space thing. Then the next game was like 4 years later. He went to Michigan, Alabama. We went out to the Rose Bowl. He, him, my wife. Now, my daughter's not going. Son is. We're going there. Sister, some other family members. And, Jack, you know how we're going there? We are going with today's sponsor, Game Time. That's right, Game Time, the app that I use to get extra tickets for family and friends, so everybody, the whole fam, could go to Michigan, Texas this weekend. You guys got to check out Game Time's new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff, so you only see incredible ticket deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. And here's why I like Game Time, is because I go to the app, right? I toggle to see the all-in pricing. I zoom in, I view my seats, and the prices come down. That's the best thing about Game Time is the last-minute prices. Right? You can wait right up until game time. Frankly, I remember last year I went to the Notre Dame-Ohio State game in South Bend. People were selling tickets for thousands of dollars. We wanted to get good seats. We had to actually walk out, check no Wi-Fi at Notre Dame Stadium, even around it. So we had to walk, about a few hundred yards up the street. Boom, got some cell signal right there on Game Time. Last-minute tickets, and we saw our seats right from there and got ourselves a heck of a deal. Last-minute low prices. So get going with Game Time. You got all-in prices. You get views from your seat. And the longer you wait, the tickets seem to come down. You take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Go download the Game Time app and create an account. Use code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account with Game Time and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. It is game time for Sherrone Moore. I mean, both teams have known what's coming back in this game, what the other team looks like. And this is Sherrone Moore's opportunity to just prove college football and maybe introduce himself to the kind of world of college football. And so, from what I've been hearing from practice, I do expect a successful, game-changing, unconventional play call from Sherrone Moore, whether that's something on special teams or whether that's something involving maybe Donovan Edwards, maybe other people's. He's Mr. Big Balls, right? From offensive coordinator and the games he was Michigan's interim or acting head coach. We had go back, him and Josh Gas back in 2021, the Don throwing this pass. Fast forward to 2023, head coach still had big balls. Imagine this is like the start of the fourth quarter in a one-score game. Imagine if Edwards had fumbled or thrown an interception or just something disastrous where he lost yards or anything like that. Michigan could have lost this game, could have not went to the college football playoff, and he made it as an interim coach, the biggest game in his coaching career. Maybe it could have been at the time. I think maybe, honestly, at the time might have been the biggest game in the history of Michigan football. I think obviously Washington, Alabama took over that. Go back to 2022, right? Offensive coordinator. Who would have saw third-string running back, could have been considered fourth-string running back, maybe Kalel Mullings doing the jump pass to what's the backup tight end? He's now, I think he's in the Cowboys. You guys know what I'm talking about. But that was who? Yeah, Luke Schoonmaker. That was a big-time play, and had Mullings, put some mustard on it, he could have got Schoonmaker in stride. So back-to-back years, you had a running back pass against Ohio State. Sherrone Moore, acting head coach, offensive coordinator. Whatever you do, Sherrone, just promise me this. No Philly special, right? As I'm looking through these photos and we get to this one, I'm having PTSD. Michigan should have been in the national championship 2 years in a row. I think they could have beat Georgia, right? I know what Georgia did at TCU, but that wasn't the same Georgia that beat Michigan in 2021 season. Fourth down, Mullings, I think it was, what's on that clock? So this is the first possession for Michigan. I think it was, the first possession for Michigan and fourth down after some brutal play calls. They're inside the 5-yard line. What is that? They're in the 2 or 3 yard line. Go for it on fourth down, and they run a reverse to Colson Lovin, who's going to throw it to J.J. McCarthy. Fooled nobody, and Michigan didn't have it. Then I think it was the next possession, but I could be flip-flop on these, although with 10.5 minutes, I'm not sure how, is where Michigan had the bomb down to Roman Wilson. Was a touchdown. The biased refs called him out. And then Kalel Mullings, as we saw him on screen just there, decided to give him the ball inside the 5-yard line instead of the Donovan Edwards or anybody else. And Mullings fumbled. So Michigan 2 times inside the 5 in the first half of the first quarter against TCU and came out with no points. Guys, join 32,400 Michigan football fans and counting and growing by subscribing to the Michigan Football Report. Just hit that subscribe button right below the video, and you will get videos from us, about 5-6 videos a week, almost daily at this point. We'll try and keep them ramping them up throughout the Michigan football season on the road to another national championship. Our eyes are on the Texas Longhorns here. We're going to have a full preview for you tomorrow, but did want to highlight some things I've been doing as I've been going into my research over the last 3 or 4 days. Really got some good work in researching Texas on Sunday and Monday with the holiday weekend. Guy I'm actually you're not going to see him on the top of other scouting reports, but I am most concerned from watching some film, from watching what they did with him. Ryan Wingo went back and watched his high school film, watched the 4 catches he had on Saturday. Super freshman, 5-star wide receiver out of the state of Missouri. He was in there in the 2 deep, caught 2 passes from Quinn Ewers early, caught 2 passes from Arch Manning when the backups and the second and third string was in this past week. And although he's not necessarily a true starter, he's not their top target, I think he's probably going to be Texas's best player by the end of this season, outside of Quinn Ewers on offense. I think he is that kind of talent. 8 times he went out in a passing route where Texas, attempted to pass. 4 times he caught the ball. That's a very absurd route to catch. And I don't know how many targets. I was told 5, but I didn't really look that up totally. 5 targets, 4 catches, 8 routes. That is a high usage rate for this player. So keep an eye on number 5, the true freshman. They probably think is like the number 3, 4, 5 wide receiver, but he's one that I think Texas is going to go to try and catch Michigan, by surprise in this game. I am on Twitter one more time at James Yoder. Highlights, inside scoops, jokes, and I troll Ohio State all the time. You will love it. People call me the funniest person on Twitter. I don't know if I've deserved that, but I do try and get grins from people from time to time. How about this guy, Jaden Blue? Reach out to a draft expert. Reach out to a Texas fan who knows a thing or two about the comps of players here for Texas. And I was told Jaden Blue, who started off the spring and in the summer and in the fall as their 3rd string running back, his player comp, one person told me Jamal Charles, Texas running back himself, similar builds, and both are burners, but Charles a little bit faster maybe. Another Texas source compared him to Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs, right? He was Alabama as well, right? He's the one that came in for 1 year from Georgia Tech. Now, drafted was that the right guy? I can't remember. Pretty sure, yeah. Okay. And now he's making a name for himself with the Detroit Lions. I think it was their top 10, top 15 pick 2 years ago. So was told burner and can catch the ball out of the backfield. 3 catches in their opener. Michigan's got to keep an eye on him. Don't let Texas get cheap yards by dumping it off to him. Have him scat for 20, 30 yards when Michigan is caught off guard. Now, Texas had the running back, Rose, right? You should be able to limit this guy, right? Because he should be their third-string running back. C.J. Baxter was going to be the starter. And then Christian Clark, who I didn't know a ton about, but he was then second string coming out of last season. He got hurt. Both these guys got injured in fall camp, and they have to go now to Jaden Blue. I kind of think that's a good sign for Michigan, Jack. His name is Blue. His name is Blue. His first name has Don in it, right? And then, I'm James, J. Don. I mean, it's just too easy. It's almost like, Michigan getting Jordan jerseys, winning the national title in 23. It just makes too much sense. So, I think it's a good sign for Michigan. A player named Blue is the starting running back, and he's got the word Don in his first name. How about Texas offensive approach, right? We'll give you a little insight into what we'll talk about more in our preview on Thursday. RPO execution, it might be the best in college football, right? RPO, for those of you that haven't caught on yet over the last 5, 6, 7 years, is not the quarterback rolling out with a chance to throw it or run it. It is run pass from a running handoff perspective. You hold the ball out there for the running back. If whoever the target defender is, whether it be the linebacker, defensive end, maybe even a safety, if he crashes down on that, you pull the ball back and you kind of hit the receiver in the spot he would have been. Texas does that very, very well. Quinn Ewers does it very, very well. They use the RPO to set up deep passing routes. So they're going to lull you to sleep. Short route, handoff, boom, boom, boom. And then they're just waiting for you to get sick of getting dinked and dunked, and they're going to go downfield and try and strike. I'm sure Michigan defensive coordinators know this, but you got to keep an eye out for this. They will kill you if Michigan does not respect that deep ball, even how long they lull you to sleep. And I really think the best comparison, like I said, 2021 Ohio State, 2023 Washington. Michigan needs to bend but don't break inside the 20s. Absolutely lock it down. Don't give up any long touchdowns, and I think they will win this game. This is a big energy week, right? Keep the energy. We're trying to do as much content as we can. We put out a bunch of YouTube shorts. We're putting stuff on our Instagram page. We're putting stuff on Twitter, Facebook, and here on YouTube. So comment horns down over and over. Get it down in the comments. We'll have our Michigan-Texas preview and maybe one more show. We try to go 2 for Tuesday. We went 2 for Wednesday instead. Might go 2 for Thursday, and then we'll have one more show on Friday. See you guys when I see you next time. Go Blue.